First, we've got Susan on line 1.
Susan, morning.
Morning, Matthew.
Morning,
panel.
What do you think, then?
Well, to be quite honest, I think it's got to be highlighted, because if the cruelty thing stops with animals, maybe it will stop with children. Poor baby Pete died there, so why not have the, have the sign there?
Well, it's not very sensitive to the members of the community who may still be trying to come to terms with the fact, neighbours, for example, who would have sat there and are still trying to come to terms with the fact, maybe questioning themselves as to whether they are in some way responsible because they didn't get involved, they didn't interfere with baby P's death. Why not stick it in Scotland or, anywhere but in Haringey?
Well, to be honest, if there'd have been a few stuck in Scotland a few years ago, probably Ian Brady wouldn't have committed crimes on animals and then gone on to abusing children with Myra Hindley.
Right, and does it bother you... I don't know what the Scottish thing is there, but does it bother you at all that, it's also factually inaccurate, that they say that he's committed murder when he hasn't?
Well, to be quite honest, I think that the mother of the child is more to blame than what he was.
Yeah, no, that's not the question. The question is, does it bother you that the poster, which proclaims it's giving out information, OK, to help people decide their feelings about animals and animal rights, that the poster is factually inaccurate? Does that bother you?
Well, I don't think it is inaccurate.
Well, Susan, it is. He has not been convicted of murder.
No, but if he's doing life, he's not been convicted of stealing sweets either, has he?
No, but, there's murder, there's manslaughter, there's allowing... Oh, don't worry, Susan, thank you. Let's have another.
We have Claire on line 5.
Claire, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
Do you think this poster does a good job, Claire?
No, I really don't think it is. I'm a resident in Haringey, and the incident was extremely upsetting. I don't know whether that's because it was on the doorstep, but a friend and myself, we went to the gravesite twice, and... to be honest, it affected us so badly that we want to move on, if you like, and just hearing it today has made me very emotional again. I had a child around the same age, around the same time that the news broke, and I just think it's outrageous to use that child as an ad campaign when he deserves respect, personally, I think, and I don't want to see the face of a monster. Whether he's rightly committed murder or not, in my mind, it was worse than murder, what he did. So, to be honest, I really don't need to be reminded of it. So,
OK.
Yeah, anyway.
OK, no, I mean, it's great to hear from someone in Haringey, because I do think that the two issues, the misleading information is one thing, but I think the location is something else. And actually, there's the third aspect of it as well, which is whether or not they should even visit this case as a way of promoting their cause. Thank you. Let's go on.
We have Rebecca on line 3.
Rebecca, good morning.
Hello.
Does the end justify the means? Peter, onto something good here?
No, I think what they're doing is belittling a very, very serious problem. They're actually just point scoring, but the actual information is correct. People who are cruel to animals often do go on to be cruel to people.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of information out there that is very easy to access. The FBI has done a lot of research right from the 1970s about this. I mean, there's even things like the homicidal triad, children who set fires, bedwet beyond a normal age, and are cruelty to animals, have gone on to kill people, rape women.
Children that bedwet become murderers. Is that where we go with that one?
No, it's a homicidal triad. You have to have all three.
OK.
But because...
You bedwet, you kill an animal, you murder.
No, no, it's not as simple as that, but it's basically, that's what the FBI have coined it. Right. It's one of the markers.
Richard's right, though, isn't he? Not all murderers tortured animals, and not all torturers of animals become murderers.
And even if all murderers did torture animals, it doesn't mean that if you torture animals, you become a murderer. It's not a logical step, So unless everyone who tortures animals then goes on to murder, the logic doesn't make sense. So plenty of people torture animals as kids and grow up and stop doing it. I mean, we should stop them doing it, definitely, but...
Yeah. Go on, Rebecca, sorry.
I think it would be worthwhile, though, if we actually took it seriously, because it might be an early marker of people who would be more violent, because also people who are violent towards people often continue to abuse animals while they're being violent towards people. OK,
what about the location of the poster in the heart of a community still reeling from the death of baby P? One poster in the country.
That is just mindless point scoring, and we need a proper discussion about it.
OK. All right, Rebecca, very reasonable, thank you. Let's have another.
Gilly's on line 2.
Gilly, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there, what do you think?
Well, I think I've been doing this campaign for some time. That Peter actually had a previous poster. The link between cruelty to animals and the abuse of humans is proven.
Well, hang on, Gilly, hang on. We've gone through... Gilly, Richard is talking total sense and total truth.
Yes, philosophic sense.
Yeah, but no, it's not everybody that abuses animals becomes a murderer.
I didn't say that. Can I just make my point?
Go on.
Yeah.
My point is that every serial killer starts with animals.
Not every
and
serial
in
killer.
Germany, Austria and parts of America, this is taken as seriously as it should be. If cruelty to animals was nipped in the bud early, it would save the lives of many children and other people later on.
Right.
Cruelty to animals is not normal. That man who said that children often do it, just like it was something normal, it's not. It is sick. And it really should be punished very severely.
I'm not saying it's normal, I'm just saying a lot of kids do it. And obviously you should try and stop them doing it.
Well,
but it doesn't mean that they will go on to be a murderer.
But I don't know, you're talking about stepping on ants or something like that. But if you see someone swinging a cat around on a piece of string, they need to be seriously looked at.
Of course.
There's something going on.
You need to look at the people, but
That's
that doesn't...
right.
But they do, you know. I think if you saw a kid torturing a dog, you wouldn't just go, oh, kids will be kids. But, you know, it doesn't mean that...
No, I don't think...
It doesn't mean he'll go on to be a murderer, is all I'm saying.
We see a lot of dog fighting going on. There's a lot of people owning those dogs.
Yeah, but they should be stopped. You know, I'm not...
We see it, but we're in denial about doing anything
animal
about it.
cruelty is a good thing.
No, I understand where the
I'm against
confusion
blood
is.
sports, you know, but, you know, no one's saying that Tory MPs are going to go on to be killers because they go fox hunting.
No, that's right.
There is a link, but it is no way. It's not definitive that if you hurt an animal, you'll hurt a person. I mean, it's a nonsense.
And, you know, we should stop people hurting animals. But I think I agree.
Well,
I
think
that
they rarely stop there. It's not as if they've been definitive.
OK. I'm kind of wandering off. I mean, we're back into the sort of discussion about, I mean, who are Peter anyway to tell us how to live our lives? That's something else that bothers me. But it's back down to the location of the poster and the use of an innocent child beaten to death by relatives and supposed loved ones, and the use of that image to further a cause. That's really the issue. But anyway, thanks for all the calls. After the ads, I'll say it again, it's still loathsome, don't date if you won't impregnate. It just fits nicely on that side of the telly. But the issue is, should any man thinking about dating a woman in her late 30s, early 40s be ready pretty soon to start a family? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts and for your experiences. Do guys need to understand that there's an urgency to the situation? Should blokes be prepared to father a baby even if they don't fancy the idea much? Is it better to do that than wait until he does feel ready, only to find that she's missed the boat? Let's find out after these ads.
Which actress dumped her husband because he didn't want kids? Renée Zellweger, Jennifer Aniston or Nicole Kidman? Find out in 3.